What is going on, everyone? My name is Venator, and today I'm bringing you guys another live guide. That's right, and today we are on our Tyrannosaurus Rex. This guy has been entombed once, and I'm hopefully gonna get him there to the second entombment. As you can see, we got enhanced, efficient, osteo, and then traumatic, along with congenital, epidermal, multi-chambered, and hypermetabolic. So we are a pretty potent predator right now. Starting this out, we're in Highland Lake area, just outside the sanctuary. Well, more kind of in between Highlands and West Rail, but I'm going to be taking you guys kind of through my thought process of hunting as a Rex, and more specifically as a solo Rex. So as you can see, I'm by myself, so who knows, maybe I die in this one, but hope not. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the map. Where to hunt as a Rex. Now, everyone's different and has their own opinions. But if you've watched my How to Grow guide, if I'm a growing Rex, I'm going to be playing in this portion of the map. Northern jungle, east jungle, central jungle. Maybe swamps. But for the most part, I'm going to be sticking to this area. Once you get to a decent hunting size, I think, around 6, 7, 8 tons, you can be the judge of when you want to move on. I make my way over here to Highlands, West Rail, and South Plains. Now, currently, I'm about right in this area right now. I think, personally, as a solo Rex, I like to stick to this jungle. Okay, all the trees makes it hard. Most pairs aren't going to be just wandering right through the jungle. Typically, as a duo, you're able to travel more freely. So a lot of pairs will come up and down the beach, through the plains, stick to this road that runs right through here and come up into Highlands. As a solo, my favorite spot to hunt is probably right here at Pygmy's Puddle. Now the bridge right here, this is a good spot to hunt as well. Maybe Jungle Pond. These small out of the way drinking spots like Pit Pond, South Puddle, these spots where people are going to go to drink to avoid a dino, you can basically play the Rex as a land Deinosuchus. I mean, that's essentially, Rex is an ambush predator. You're not running down that many other dinosaurs other than Triceratops and maybe Stegos. But anyway, let's get back to it. So now that we've kind of done an overview of the map, I think I'm gonna head to West Rail. Just heard some aloes, so we'll see if we can find anything. Basically, what can I not fight as a solo full prime Rex? So 12.3 tons. I'm at max weight. My speed is dropping. Your speed after 87.5, you'll start to fall off. Once you hit 95%, you'll get really slow. My bite force, still pretty good. Especially because I got that hypermetabolic running. So, lower my hunger gets, the higher my bite force gets. And as you can see, since I'm so slow, ambushing things is about the only way I'm going to kill something, unless it's a Triceratops. But back to what I was saying. What can I not fight? Well, can't really fight a group of 3 Stegos. I mean, I can, but it's just very risky. If it's 3 prime Stegos, I'm probably not winning that fight. Even if it's 2 primes and an adult, still probably not winning. And as a solo, man, I don't even know if I'm good enough to take 2 full primes. If I could tell they were bad Stego players, then I could probably do it, but typically, for the most part, I'm not even going to attempt trying to fight 2 full prime stegos. Now, solo stego, solo triceratops, heck, maybe even 2 adult triceratops. If you catch them in the open and you get leg breaks on them, then that's pretty much it if they're adult. Now, if they're full primes, you gotta be a little bit more careful. So I can hear a lot of stuff over in the sanctuary. Maybe we swing around this rock. Creep around and see what we find in the jungle. Oh, aloes are back that way now. Yeah, maybe we'll circle back down to landslide. I forgot to mention that. So landslide, another good ambush spot. You guys have seen me hunt there quite a bit. And the jungle's right here around West Rail. Essentially, as a solo Rex, you want to avoid open areas where 2 other primes can see you from a distance, especially when you start to slow down like I am. When you're peak prime and your trot speed is at its fastest, it's a lot easier to play. But once you start slowing down in speed like I am, you really gotta keep your wits about you and keep your head on a swivel. Yeah, sounds like those Mayas are probably heading to the Highland Lake area. But the aloe, that sounded a little closer. Oh my goodness. I hate these little trees. I never pay attention and I always get stuck on these stupid little things. Thankfully they're removed in the new horde test. Also, you want to try and not do that. Oh, look at the little Beppy. Now, if you're wondering why I'm creeping, well, I heard a Maya. It sounded like he talked in chat. So, a chat message isn't near as loud as a broadcast. So if you're in earshot of a chat message, well, if you keep going towards it, they'll be able to hear your loud stomps pretty far away. But the Rex creeps pretty quietly, so you always want to go in, I call it stealth mode, because you're a lot quieter, which allows you to hear things around you a lot better. A lot of people don't really respect how much of a role sound plays in this game. Okay, well maybe they were further off than I thought on the chat message. See, sometimes the sound does play tricks on you. I thought those guys were... Chat message I heard was closer than what it was. Yep, see sanctuary zone. Now we'll head down to West Rail. So all I do is Rex hunting is I'm either in, basically I call it travel or roaming mode, or I'm in ambush mode. If I'm roaming, I'm traveling amongst the trees in the jungle, just, you know, either trying to sniff food out here. If anything is roaming through the jungle, sometimes around this area you'll get lucky and you'll hear smaller stegos or trikes. But we'll go take a peek at the open field of West Rail and see if we spot anything. I'll be honest, it's been quite a long time since I've done a little Rex fight. So if we run into another big Rex, I don't know, we'll probably try and be amicable and see if they want to just not fight, if we run into one. Population's not super high right now. I got off work a little early. It's about almost 4 in the afternoon my time. NA starts really picking up around 5, 6 o'clock, 7 once everybody starts getting off work here in the US. And now, I do get asked often, you know, I've been getting comments, people wanting more live videos, and I won't lie, live videos are pretty hard for me to do consistently, just because sometimes I could get on and have time to play for 10 minutes, other times it could be 30 minutes, or an hour or two. Hopefully here we can maybe string something together. Ah, dude, these little trees. Carno right there. Oh, there's that Maya. Or there is a Maya. Unfortunately, there is no shot of me catching that Maya unless I'm able to ambush him. There's some Sarahs. They definitely just saw me. Garno has no idea. He just walked right next to a big Rex. Dude, look how oblivious this guy is. Bro just like literally could have got murked. See, that's what I'm saying, dude. Stealth mode, people can't hear it. Those guys had no idea that I was right here. Well, the ones that saw me did, but apparently he didn't tell his buddies. Oh, and we got bodies up here. Is there a little croc in here? And there you go. Sometimes you just have to wait for opportunities to come to you and be patient. That is patience is probably the hardest part about Rex or even Deinosuchus. Golly, there's a massacre in here. Got dead Sarahs. Oh my lord. What all has happened here? Yeah, there was just a slaughterhouse out here in West Rail. So much dead stuff. So I was really wanting that Dibbler Maya, but kind of lost sight of him and wasn't really doing a good job paying attention. I think now the plan is we'll swing around to Pygmy's Puddle. Oh, never mind. Actually, we're gonna have to take a pause on this live hunting guide. We will continue this shortly. When you guys won't notice the break, it'll just keep going, but I have to handle something for work. So yeah, we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. Gonna continue with the live hunting guide. I apologize for the break, but as you can tell, my schedule is quite chaotic, so not even real sure how much time I will have on this session. So, picking up where we left off, gonna just make my way over here to Pygmy's Puddle, see if we can do some ambush hunting. Pretty popular spot. So hopefully there's not already two big Rexes hunting there. West rail is completely devoid of any life, it seems. Oh, and see there, okay, there might be Rexes up there. So, great hunting tip, when you're smelling stuff and you see organs moving around like that, that is something grabbing them and eating them. Activate stealth mode. Of course I can't fit through that, because why wouldn't I be able to squeeze past a tiny tree that probably is a fraction of my weight. Great game mechanics. Love it. That's one thing. I cannot wait for the Redwood update. If you haven't tried the Horde test, definitely recommend it. It is a lot of fun. Well, the bugs aren't fun, but the map changes are absolutely wonderful. Might be the best version of the map coming out in the next update that we've seen. That is 2 Rexes. So we are not gonna go that way. So for all I know, they could have been smaller Rexes, but the and when I go back and edit this, I'll try and make the audio so you could hear it, but there was a Rex eating, and then I could hear one rustling in a bush. So more than likely a pair of Rexes right there. And so for those of you that don't play on Petits a whole lot, and funny enough, Poutine went and changed it after my beginner's guide illustrating this, because I don't know, I guess he doesn't like it easy for people to guess when Rex is unlocked. But anyway, so logged in here. I always check this every time I'm logging in. All right, Rex population, that's pretty average for Rex pop. Okay, come look, adults. All right, there's quite a few adults on. So for instance, you come to the prime, look at this. So I believe that this is the 1 sized bar or the 2 sized bar. I can't remember. But so if we assume it's 2, then there's probably 4 primes on, counting me. So yeah, don't know if those guys are prime. They could both be adult. I could have gone up there and potentially, killed them both, but it's not really something I'm wanting to risk on a Rex that I'm close to my second entombing. So I'm gonna just move on out of that area. I don't really need any food. The spot must be pretty popular now. If this guy wasn't entombed and I was at 87.5%, I would have gone up there because, well, at 87.5%, you're at your max speed. So if I do go up there and there's 2 like large primes and they're trying to kill me, I know that I can at least basically go up there at full stamina. If they attack me, I can use basically match them stamina for stamina to get away. You know, if they really want, they can continuously walk me down, so to say, but they're never gonna catch me. All they would be able to do is match me if I was a peak prime. But since I am not a peak prime, I am currently at 93%. I'm slowing down. So if they get close to me and they're at peak speed, well, they can just walk me down. They don't even have to sprint after me. If they recognize that I use my stamina below the threshold and it's not gonna regen walking, then they can just walk me down until I give up or they give up, or who knows what happens. But we're gonna go over here to the mud pit and wallow. Those of you that are new to the game, rolling in the mud, not only does it help with bleed and your bleed resistance and I think stopping bleeds, but it also removes the pack symbol. So if, like right here, if I would have smelled going up to that, I might have smelled 2 of them. And you know, now you never know. There could have only been 1 Rex because the pack symbol didn't really show up. So it could have just been 1 guy eating in the bush and that was the rustling that I was hearing. But either way, as a solo, I'm good on food. I don't need really anything to risk it. You know, all Rex gameplay is risk versus reward. And that's, you know, same thing with Croc gameplay. That's why I always take slower hunger drain, because having slower hunger makes it to where you have to risk less. So far we've only gotten 1 kill. I hear a trike. See, I would love to go fight that trike if he was alone, but those Rexes, they probably hear the same trike. So Actually, let's do this. We'll go. Okay, maybe the wall. There we go. We're gonna go see if we can get eyes on this Rex or the trike, and then maybe watch and see if there is one or two Rexes up in that puddle, and if they don't make their way down to challenge the trike, then well, that's how we know the size problem. If they were too big or not. Because even looking at the population control, it doesn't tell you how many are full or peak prime, so they could have been fresh prime. If they're fresh primes, well, I could probably kill 2 fresh prime Rexes at the same time. Because the weight difference there, 3 tons, is pretty significant. I can stun them with my right click, and I believe the crush bite half pins them, so as long as I don't take a leg break from one of them. That's not a guarantee. They might be able to do it, but no guarantee by any means that you can win a 1v2. So there's the trike. So, watching here, Pygmy's puddle is about right up here. So, this trike, if he's out here calling, I would expect these Rexes to either walk down here or up from the side where I was. Now, if they're not big enough to be fighting a trike, they might just stay up there. And I just heard bushes behind me. Oh, nope, ahead of me. There's a stego. He might have seen me. You can still hear the bushes up ahead. Okay, well, no real idea where that stego actually went. Unfortunate. I was hoping we'd get another kill. Let's take a look at the map. Alright, so we are right here. Got a few options. We know Pygmy Puddle occupied. Don't really want to spend any more time out in the open. So we either keep creeping through these jungles, since we know there's a stego, or we go up here to Landslide Lake, ambush hunt. We can also go ambush hunt right here in the gap. Or actually this gap going towards Highlands if we wanted. We'll keep patrolling these jungles, see if we find anything. I know it's not the most entertaining, and I'll probably fast forward through a lot of the walking where I'm not explaining my thought process or actively stalking something that I think is of value. Reason we're coming back into the forest. Stego wasn't large, so he probably came back here into the jungle. Already saw some of those red bushes. I don't know if they're on his diet or not, but go through and check out this. Oh, that A just disappeared. Alright, so that A just disappeared. Something either ate it or it despawned. I would bet on the former. Now, I will say, yes, the mud is counterproductive to my camouflaged green skin, but as a solo, not having tracks or the pack symbols show up if you happen to be around something is very useful. Man, if there was two Rexes, even if no Rexes were at Pygmy's Puddle, I would have gladly gone and tried to fight that trike. But with stegos and trikes on Petites, and well, probably any server that if it doesn't have gastro, your biggest problem with fighting large prey targets like that isn't really the fight itself, but the fight after. If I'm a Rex player and I hear a trike calling and I'm not gonna go fight it, well, might keep an eye on it, because if a Rex comes and fights it and takes some hits, that could be an easy kill. Now, obviously I don't really go out of my way to canny Rexes, but if an easy opportunity, an easy kill presents itself, I will definitely take advantage, because it's coins on this server. That's why I don't trust any Rexes. I didn't even want to go up there and mess with it. we'll go. All right, we're gonna go sit by landslide, fill up our water. We'll ambush there. Let's see, our hunger's at 46%. I typically give it on a prime Rex until about 25%, where I really need to start scavenging for some food, or find anything to eat. With a boosted hunger mutation, and the prime itself goes down pretty slowly. Bet I gave that guy a fright. He about just ran into my mouth. If I would have stopped moving, he probably would have just ran right into my mouth. As you can see, we're really slowing down, 30.6. Once you hit this kind of 94, 95%, that's when your speed just really starts to get sluggish. I mean, it feels like I'm walking at a snail's pace. Like, what are the odds there's more Rex who's already hunting here? Can't get snuck up on if you go into the middle of the pond. And now, we wait. Since I'm off work, NA population, everybody else should be getting off work and hopping on, so hopefully we find something. If not, we'll just probably head back to West Rail in the jungle. West Rail in the jungle is really my favorite hunting area. I don't really venture away from the jungles a whole lot as a solo. So I'm not gonna go play in South Plains. I'll risk Highlands here and there. Just kind of depends how the prime population is. But anyway, I will be fast forwarding through all the sitting till we either find something or something comes here or it's time to leave. And some might say, how do you sit in bushes for long periods of time? And well, as a Dino main, I'm used to it. The trick is having a second monitor that you can watch YouTube on. You can watch, sometimes I watch ESPN on. Sometimes I'll do stuff on my phone. Sometimes I might be editing a video on my second monitor right next to where I'm playing. But yes, not looking too hot over here. Not having heard a single thing generally is not a good sign. Hunger's at 37%. But see, it's like we're not dropping, alarmingly fast. So it's as a Prime Rex, you can kind of get away with it. And it also helps that I have buffed hunger drain. So I believe this value is typically 25%, 27. I think the decreased nutrition rate starts at 10%, buffed to 15%. Don't remember what this value starts at, to be completely honest with you. And then this one doesn't buff, so that is one of the downsides to taking this first, but this arguably might be the most important mutation you pick. Traumatic, I would take second almost exclusively if I didn't often run into hunger problems. So a lot of people say that my mutation set of going enhanced, efficient, osteo, traumatic are really bad picks. You know, and that's the great thing about this game. Everybody's free to play and build their dinos how they want. I build mine for survival and longevity. You know, I'm not a Rex fight doesn't often come down to damage mutations. It almost exclusively comes down to leg breaks. Only doing 2v2 sometimes, like one of the ones you guys saw, myself and I can't even remember who it was at the time, if it was Legolas or Sniper Dude, but let them down horribly. And right there, bite damage. Yeah, that made a difference in that fight because we were so close together. But generally out in the open, it's going to be whoever leg breaks the other first. So that's why I just picked up hypermetabolic as my last on this set. So get a little boost there since your hunger does start to drop as you get past that prime, sitting at 94.5%. Is unfortunate though, because I was really hoping to be hunting at Pygmy's Puddle and not here, but I suppose it doesn't help that I've put it in several videos hunting there and showing how good it is. So there's could be 1% of food if he comes close. It does not look like he is interested in water. And another thing I do when I'm sitting here in the bush waiting for things to kill is I go answer comments. Respond to you guys. I try and make it a personal effort of mine to respond to all my comments, but as we're growing, it is getting a little more difficult. We'll give it a few more minutes. Oh. I heard something drinking. Little Maya. He's not a fresh spawn, he's pretty chunky. And then while it didn't give me a ton, I mean 30% to 46% from that small of a Maya on a full prime Rex, that's pretty good. He He might have been close to a ton. Or maybe more than that. I'm not the best at gauging small Maya sizes, but hey, that allows us to continue our ambush hunting. And I'll be honest with you guys, I do this a lot because sometimes I don't have, like I've said, I don't have a lot of time to play. So currently I might have 20 minutes left tops to play before I have to log and do things with the rest of my evenings. Sometimes I can get back on and play, but a lot of times I only get an hour or two, or maybe 3 if I'm lucky, get off work early on weeknights to get in game and grow these dinos. Oh, speak of that, that's work. And yep, just like that. Didn't even have 20 minutes. I was lowballing the estimate, or overshot the estimate. So that is where I have to call this portion of the hunting guide. That might be it for the hunting guide. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. How I play solo Rex, it's kind of boring. Don't do a lot risky, but the name of the game, at least on Petites, is entombing these guys. You get coins for entombing, so unless you're just dying for some real action gameplay and to go around and get kills, then solo life tends to be the boringer of lives. A lot of people say that they only play solo, and that's a fair stance to take. So I'm trying to balance my channel with that, but I will be honest with you guys, duo life is a lot more fun. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time, and happy hunting.